الإسلام ديني والعرض بغير ديني محمد.
Welcome back, and it's now time for the motivational talk, and today's motivational speaker who gives us spiritual enlightenment is Yawar Baig.
Inna alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ba'd. I want to talk to you today about people who were standard bearers of Islam, people who had a sense of who they were. Imagine this scene, and this is a true story during the seerah of during the time of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, when he was the Khalifa. A young man is brought into his court. He's arrested by two other young men. They're holding him by his arms. They bring him to the court of the Khalifa, and they say he killed our father, so sentence him to death. Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu asked him, he said, did you do this? The man said, yes, I killed their father, but I did not do it deliberately. My camel strayed into the garden of this old man. This old man picked up a stone and hit my camel. The stone hit the eye of the camel. It blinded him. My camel was in terrible pain, and I got so angry with this. I picked up a stone and I threw it at the man, and it hit him in the head and he died. Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab asked the two sons, he said, will you take blood money? Will you take diya? They said, no, a life for a life. He killed our father. We want his blood. Now, while this conversation is going on, this young man, he said to Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab, he said, Amirul Mu'mineen, I have a request. He said, my father left some gold with me and asked me to give this gold to my younger brother. He said, we are just two of us in this world. We have nobody. We are not from Medina. We are strangers. If you please permit me 3 days, I will go and take this gold and give it to my brother, and I will come back here, and then you can pass whatever sentence you want to pass on me. Now, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu said to him, he said, look, this is strange. How can I just let you go away like this? I can do that only if somebody here is willing to stand witness for you, if he's willing to give you zamanat, if he's willing to become a guarantor for you. The young man looked at the people in the court, and he looked from one side to the other, but nobody met his eyes. Everybody, the moment he looked at them, people would look away. The young man, in sheer despair, he held his head and he sat down. At that time, they heard a voice in the back of the court, a deep voice. A man stood up, a warrior, very tall, very dark, very powerful man. He stood up and he said, I will stand witness for this boy. They turned around, and who was it? It was Abu Dhar Ghifari radiallahu anhu, one of the first of the Sahaabah ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in, a man who Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam loved, and he loved Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, a man on the da'wah of whom the entire tribe of Ghifar became Muslim, and because of that the entire tribe of Aslam became Muslim. One of the Badriyin of the Sahaabah, one of the cream of the Akabirin of the Sahaabah, he stood up and he said, I will stand guarantee for this boy. Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu turned around and he said, Ya Abu Dhar, are you sure of what you are doing? Because believe me, I love you more than anything else. But if this boy does not come back, on that day, day 3, he said, I will have to execute you. I don't want to do that, but I will have to do that. He said, are you sure? Abu Dhar Ghifari radiallahu anhu said, I am sure, Amirul Mu'mineen. I know what I am saying. I know why I am saying it. Let the boy go. Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu turned around. He said to the boy, you can go and come back in 3 days. The boy left. Day 1 passed. No sign of the boy. Day 2 passed. No sign of the boy. Day 3, time for Salatul Asr. Still no sign of the boy. The two boys whose father had been killed, the two young men whose father had been killed, came to Abu Dhar Ghifari radiallahu anhu. They said, please come with us. The time has come. Abu Dhar Ghifari said, the day ends with Maghrib, not with Asr. I will come with you. We'll go to the court. We'll wait for the boy. They go there. They're waiting. The whole of Medina is there. The courtroom is jam-packed. People want to see what will happen today. Will a Sahabi of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam be executed for a crime that he did not commit? Almost time for the adhan of Maghrib. There is a commotion. The young man comes running. He's covered with dust. He comes running and he said, Amirul Mu'mineen, I am here. Release Abu Dhar Ghifari. People are absolutely astonished. This man actually came back to be executed. What kind of man is he? Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu turned around and asked him. He said, why did you come back? Why didn't you get away? He said, Ya Amirul Mu'mineen, I can get away from you, but how do I get away from your Rabb? And he said, that is not even the reason. He said, I came back because I do not want it to be said that a Muslim gave his word and could not keep it. A Muslim gave his word and did not keep it. Imagine, these are the people who learned the deen. These are the standard bearers of Islam. The man said, I came back because I don't want it to be said that a Muslim gave his word and he did not keep it. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu turned down to Abu Dharr Ghifari. He said, why did you stand guarantee for this boy? If he had not turned up, whatever be the reason, you would have lost your life. Abu Dharr Ghifari said, Umar, Amirul Mu'mineen, I was sitting in the back of the court and I saw that a Muslim was asking for help and there was no one to help him. He said, whatever is my qadr will happen. I do not want it to be said that a Muslim will ask for help and there will be no one to help him. So I stood up. If I have to die, I die. But it will not be said that a Muslim asked for help and no other Muslim was there to help him. And he said that, and when these two conversations finished, the two boys stood up. They said, Amirul Mu'mineen, we don't want it to be said that our brother asked for forgiveness and we could not forgive him, so we forgive him. These were the people, my brothers and sisters, who represented Islam. I ask myself and I ask you, who are you and who am I? Wa sallallahu ala nabil kareem wa alihi wa sahbihi ajmain bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin.
Welcome back, and it's now time for us to go for the sporting activities and sporting tips with Professor Solly Said.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Solly Said's Karate, Kickboxing and Gym, your one-stop multi-purpose health, fitness and martial arts center. Today we're going to continue with the dispelling of the myth that karate is only for special people. You need to be in a certain fitness level, you need to have you need to be a certain age. Karate is for everyone between the ages of 5 years to 85 years. I've seen karate masters in their late 80s in Japan and Okinawa practicing karate with such vigor, energy, and amazing composure that it just makes you wonder that a lifetime of karate training can do such amazing things for people and their health. Some of the greatest, the longest living human beings on earth live in Japan, Okinawa. Live, you know, what we call octogenarians, septuagenarians. We find them in Japan and Okinawa. So today I want to discuss the four K's of karate. Kihon, which is your basic karate, basics of karate, everything that you do with basics. Basics is the foundation of our training. That is something that you'll do for the rest of your life when you start doing karate. So initially when a person starts and joins the dojo, they find the complicated coordination movements very difficult to be able to do initially. But with time and practice and staying the course, as we call it, one slowly learns to master these techniques. So in the basic section, we have several different areas that we cover. We have to cover what we call the important thing is tachi, nigiri, ski, sannen. Tachi, nigiri, ski, sannen. Tachi means stance, tachis, strong stance, whether it's sanshin dachi, zengsu dachi, or kiba dachis, or even shiko dachi. These stances are a part of karate to develop strong legs, strong basic base area. So, tachi, nigiri, ski, sannen. Nigiri means the correct way to form a fist, to make a correct fist. That's nigiri. Ski means to punch, suki, how to punch. So, sannen means 3 years. So the old karate saying, tachi, nigiri, ski, sannen means it takes 3 years to master the stances. It takes 3 years to master just the making of the fist correctly. And it takes another 3 years to master how to punch. So altogether, it takes 9 years to master just the punch. It takes a lifetime almost, you see. So that's why we say 10 years on a rock. As I explained once, one of my karate masters would love to say 10 years on a rock and left you just there. So here we are. This gradual practice, the progression and continuous practice of karate, the daily practice can make you an efficient martial artist. But it takes time. So today, as I said, we'll be covering the kihon. So kihon covers those aspects. Then we got kata. Kata is called the heart of karate. I know people have had different views about kata. You had people like Bruce Lee say, kata is vertical death. Actually, it's quite a misnomer. It doesn't explain anything about kata. Kata is such a beautiful part of karate. It actually is the aesthetic side of karate. This is the side that makes karate look exceptional by watching the person perform these movements. Now, hidden in these very movements that you see in kata, which we'll show you later, are the secret techniques that can actually attack nerves and attack joints, and they can actually break a person into half by just using the correct form of karate. So the part of kata we call bunkai actually means the application of each movement. So every movement that you see that looks so simple, maybe sometimes complicated or even complex, but at the same time they don't look so dangerous, are techniques that can actually kill somebody, right? So that's the kata side that we'll cover as well. And then we've got kumite. Kumite, chu kumite, randori kumite, different forms of kumite that we talk about. This is the fighting aspect. This is where you actually take your basics, you take your kata, and you put it into application form in terms of fighting, where you actually apply it in a fighting situation. That we'll come to, and I'll explain it in more detail when we get to the kumite side of things. The fourth aspect, the fourth K, so kihon, kata, kumite, and the fourth K is kobudo. Kobudo is the weapon side of karate. Now, the big question always arises, if you say karate means empty hand, where does this weapon side come in? In ancient times, karate masters used to also practice with a long stick, the long staff, called the bow, or in Okinawa, the kon. Or they used to use farming implements, which I'll show at some point. Different things like the fork, is to use the tonfa, rice grinding implement, and short sticks. And of course, if you studied in Japan and practiced with certain karate masters, you also learn kendo, which is the art of the sword, okay, sword fighting. So we'll go through these aspects in a very basic way, just to make it, to give you an idea that, anyone can practice karate, provided you have the desire to want to study karate. If you have the desire to want to study karate, yes, anyone can learn karate. It is, we call it an art that, because it has to be practiced. You don't have to have any special skills. You do not need any flair for karate. You just start practicing, and with practice on a daily basis, which we call keiko. Keiko means train. You slowly master these techniques. So we're going to go through the basics again today, but we're going to take it to the next level, where we're going to do movements in different stances, okay? So we give you an idea of how the basics go. So we're going to use our Sensei Bethuel, a long-time standing karateka. He's a fourth dan. He's actually going to be tested for his fifth dan in a few months' time. Sensei Andy, as you all met before, you met him before, and Sensei Zenit. Our four senseis are here today. Let us see how we're going to go through these basic techniques. Please stand up, Sensei. Right. Why am I sitting there? Right. Okay. Right. Stand up. Okay. As you can see, the sitting position in Seiza is not an easy position, but we're going to start now with some of the basics, right? So everybody, hey, right? Right. Hey, yo, we. So we did Sanshindachi, I showed you the punch in Sanshindachi the last time. So let's just show that movement quickly. Sanshindachi, kamaite. Right, stretch your hands out in front of you. Pull your right hand in and show us the punch. Ichi, ni, san, chi. Now faster. Ich, ni, san, chi, go. That was the punch we showed. We showed the hurricane, the back first strike. Ich, ni, san, chi, and go. Right. Then we show the block, Choranuki block. Ichi, ni, san, chi. Right. Okay, then we also show the outside block. Ichi, ni, san, chi, and now re. So that's what we did in the last episode. Now, in the next episode, we're going to be doing the next stage where we're going to take the movements into actual motion and movement, okay? Sometimes karate is called, well, most times karate is called moving Zen. So you'll see how Zen, the practice of meditation and Zen, comes into motion. So we're going to show that in the next section.
And now it is time for the news brought to you by Press TV with reporters around the world.